Timer up?
We deleted the timer. There is no more timer.
Oh.
Sorry about that. As soon as you say ready, I'm ready.
I'm ready. Why the concern? We haven't had polio here in Canada for 50 years. Well, right now we do have polio in the world. So there's self-interest, there's eliminating suffering, but mostly it's so that we can devote resources to something more important. Polio still exists in this world. This virus enters the body through the mouth, and from there, if there's no antibodies to fight it, it attacks the central nervous system, destroys motor neurons in the spinal cord and the brainstem, and affects children, mostly. The damage is a sudden, extremely sudden onset of paralysis. 1 in 10 infected will die, 3 will have permanent damage. It's highly contagious. Spreads from person to person as easy as you breathe. You can get it by swimming in water that's infected. Mild symptoms like fever or sore throat or nausea, they go unrecognized. So polio is a silent but stealthy crippler. This child is just a good example of that. It's been around for 3,500 years. It's depicted in this upcoming Egyptian stela. It's very selective. Fewer than 1% who get infected actually get paralysis, but around them there's be about 200 people who are unknowingly carrying the virus. This person who comes up next, you'll recognize him. He was a polio survivor in 1951. He was 6 years old. Fellow singer-songwriter Joni Mitchell is also a polio survivor, as was Prime Minister Paul Martin Jr., as his father before him. And this gentleman invented the live oral vaccine in the 50s in response to the epidemics of that time, and the vaccine was approved in 1961. And we're going to jump ahead to 1985. This is where the virus was at that time. Rotary International entered into an agreement with the WHO to eradicate polio, and it's been nothing short of miraculous what has happened since then. They eradicated pretty much everywhere except for these 4 locations. In 1985, 1,000 kids per day were contracting it. Today, there's only 2,000 cases in the world. 2,000. Like I say, that's nothing short of miraculous. This next slide shows what kind of monitoring is going on. This was, I could get a more recent slide, but this had to go in just recently. So this is, 1 month ago. We know that there's just 2,000 cases. So 2,000 cases doesn't seem like much. What's the problem? The problem is we're using a live virus, and it has to be stored in coolers. It can't exceed 5 degrees Celsius. And we're going to places that are the most remote, up mountainsides, traversing through rivers and crossing bridges. It is a challenge for sure, but it's a challenge that is clearly, to me, I think can be met. The message, though, that I want to convey to you is that there's an incredible partnership here that has worked so hard to develop and satisfy a need for help in the world. And one of the strategies in the eradication effort has been immunization days. 2000, 550 million children were vaccinated in a very short period. And in 1997, in 1 day in India, 134 million children vaccinated in 1 day. So clearly, this can be done. And that's, it can be done. But the message I need to convey, again, is that there's an incredible partnership that's been created to deliver help to the world. This gentleman, who you recognize, his foundation donated $355 million last year and asked Rotary International to match that. He obviously recognizes this effective partnership that's been put together with the World Health Organization. They're the management oversight. The U.S. Centers for Disease Control, they provide the scientific resources. UNICEF procures and delivers the vaccines. And Rotary, since 1985, over 1 million Rotarians have donated their time and personal resources to this. You know, you see these little icons here. Since this presentation started, that's how many children died, because they didn't have fresh water. So help us in Rotary so that we can take this, or help us in Polio so we can take this partnership and sorry.